Man, oh man, fellas, I am excited. I know it's been quite a while since we did some content on the channel lately, which I do apologize to you guys for, but to make it up to you, today we have the Ultimate Gohan Kit info for SQUADRA, and what's really important here is that Ultimate Gohan, the newest hero for SQUADRA, is going to be dropping tomorrow, right? He's going to be dropping on the 2nd of December, which is tomorrow, and already so many people are excited for this character. And also what's crazy is this kit info in particular was already out for a few days now, so I've been slacking when it comes to the SQUADRA content. Again, I'm sorry for that, guys, but yeah, his kit info has been out for a few days now, so I'm a bit late to the party, but nevertheless, we're going to go ahead and have some fun. Today, we're going to go ahead and go through his kit, break down what Gohan can do in terms of his performance, how is he meant to be played, we'll look at his animations and all those other cool things, and honestly, I am very excited to see what Gohan can do because from what I've heard, this character is amazing. Obviously, if Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is anything to go off of, Gohan should be one of, if not the best characters in the game, period. So hopefully he exceeds my expectations, which are already kind of high based off what I've heard. But yeah, I'm very excited for this. Hope you guys enjoyed the video today. If you do, show your support down below, comment down below your thoughts, let me know, what do you think about Ultimate Gohan, and are you planning to buy Ultimate Gohan? Because as we know, Gohan is not free to play accessible when he drops, but Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta will be free to play accessible through the Star Collection system once Gohan is added to the game. But let me know, are you planning to buy Ultimate Gohan based off what you've seen and everything? With that being said though, let's go ahead and check out this kit. Man, I am actually kind of nervous because I want Gohan to be kind of good here, but I don't know what to expect. We got the adult English voice acting, so that's really awesome. Okay. I really don't know what Gohan can do. That's the crazy thing, is I've heard so many great things. I haven't seen his kit. So he's got like a shockwave ki blast, cool. That's a clean, I think that's his finisher effect, like when KO, so that's gonna be really clean. That man is looking pretty clean, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, the flying Raijin Jutsu ultimate right there. I love that actually. And that's actually really clean too. Alright, so we know Gohan's a technical. I may have to pause this at certain points. He's a playmaker who separates his target from the pack, creating advantages for his allies, taking down isolated enemies one by one alongside your team. Okay, first of all, in concept, this is a very toxic and nasty playstyle that Gohan can do. We need to understand that currently in the game, SQUADRA is one of those games where it is very bad for you as a player or as a team if you are cut off from your teammates, because there's a lot of situations where if you're getting tagged one by one, all of a sudden, you know, the opponent teams, they get snowball stacks or whatever they're getting, they're going to start to ramp up and they're just going to start to steamroll you. So if Gohan can make this even easier, that's nasty. Passive, you can't win. Love the name, of course. Stagger and weaken enemy hero. That's just on like regular, that's crazy. Apply, what is this, by the way? This looks disgusting. Applies a stack to an enemy hero on hit. When stacks are maxed out, target becomes a break target. This is a new effect, it seems. And any damage dealt staggers them, applying physical defense down and energy defense down as well. Super attacks have the strongest effect, followed by skills other than the supers, and then rush attacks. So, okay, so I guess the damage dealt, or like the effect of the debuff, is going to be increased based off what you're using. But still, staggering an enemy based off your passive is already crazy. That's really insane right there. And let me go ahead and kind of rewind that because I think the vid kind of had like a weird glitch there. But Gohan does one of his attacks, I guess. That was like a power-up effect. Right there, you see the stagger. That's actually kind of crazy. His rush attack, physical attack, becomes a powered-up attack when with increased damage against break targets. So right there, you see the break target effect. Now it does, I think, the special kick right there. So that does the stagger, and also it does the effects right there. And actually, when you look at that stagger was not that long whatsoever. So I'm sure when you look at the stagger in other parts of his kit, it'll look even better. Jack Blast, what kind of name is that? That actually sounds really crazy. Unleash a strike in a set direction, applies a stack to enemy heroes on hit for his passive, I assume. Re-entering the command within a certain window, unleashes an energy wave, pushing away enemies and dealing extra damage. Again, this pushing away effect, we've seen it a bunch with Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. It's already nasty with him. We have to see how much this can do, but this can be very nasty as well. Applies further stacks to enemy heroes who are struck. Interesting. Wait, so, oh, okay, so this is, I guess, further stacks for when you re-enter it and do the energy wave as well. Okay, that seemed confusing at first, but basically, you do the first part of it, that does one stack, and then you do more stacks when you do the second part of it as well. The closer an enemy is, the further the pushback. Okay, cool. Activating the skill after power unleashed increases pushback even further and applies movement speed down to enemy heroes stuck. Okay, so power unleashed, I am assuming, is either, I saw like, I think the power unleashed earlier, I think that's his third skill, I'm assuming, or his ultimate, probably his third skill. Activating this after that will increase the pushback even more though, and apply movement speed down. So a bit of an extra buff there, nice. So he kind of has like a Kaioken effect, I guess, because Power Unleashed kind of does that. Right there, you see that energy blast. That's actually looking really nice. So the strike and then the pushback, not too bad on the pushback, by the way. That's pretty good. Rolling hammer, okay. Unavoidable, damn. Unavoidable attack, that's crazy. That warps your target's location and forcibly moves them in the direction you warped from. So as you saw right here with Gohan, when we can go ahead and look at that second skill, coming from the left side right there, kicks Goku to where he just came from, which is pretty dope actually. Again, that kind of feeds into the concept of like isolating an opponent, because if you're chasing someone, you hit them, knock them back, now everyone else behind you is going to jump the Goku, which is crazy. And Krillin, I don't know why they show Krillin here, because Krillin is not that great right now, but still, like, you know, it's not going to be great for the one guy who's getting like kicked into the freaking group here. Generates a shockwave on hit, dealing additional damage to non-target enemies. So there's the shockwave, I guess, right there. Does the stacking, staggers, and deals extra damage to targets knocked into a wall or other heroes. Similar thing with Vegeta's kick, where there's more staggering when you hit characters into walls, which I don't know why they're embracing this, but I mean, I guess that's fair. Activating the skill after the potential unleash will send the target struck flying on hit. Enemies struck by the shockwave will be forcibly moved, and extra damage dealt to targets knocked into a wall or other heroes will be increased. Okay, so basically, if you do Gohan's quote-unquote Kaioken effect, his potential unleashed, right? You'll send them flying. You will basically, it'll be like a stronger kind of effect on all of the skill part of it. So I guess right there's potential unleashed right there. Further knockback, a bit more of the shockwave, I guess. Right there's power unleashed. Okay, so unleash your shockwave around yourself, applying flee to enemies. Interesting. Apply a stack to enemy heroes on hit. So this can do some damage, I guess. Within a set window after the skill's activation, your first and your second skill will be enhanced and usable even mid cooldown. Ooh, interesting. The first hit of other skills activated during the following this will add further stacks to enemy heroes. There's flee right there, so you can see he's forcing Goku to run away. I'm curious how this is supposed to be beneficial, the flee mechanic, because flee is in and of itself pretty nasty. I can see the power behind it because you're forcing enemies to run away, but also that kind of is counterintuitive to Gohan, I guess, cutting off an opponent. Or maybe you could think of it as an example of like Krillin is here, Goku's running away, now Krillin is pushed back, then you warp, kick Krillin to your teammates, so that can make things a bit more problematic for the opponents. But I mean, flee on its own could be pretty nasty. I could see this actually being pretty toxic when preventing characters from going after bosses. And then the super attack, the Mach Break right there, warp to the target location, unleash a flurry of attacks moving at high speed, basically the flying Raijin Jutsu for all the Naruto fans out there. I guess technically it's Minato, but whatever. The first hit to enemy heroes applies a stack to them, can move while you're attacking, generates a shockwave following the flurry, staggering enemy heroes with stacks and applying flee to enemies without stacks. So right there does the first hit. There's the flee effect. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, so Gohan, going back to his overall kind of thing, first of all, his trailer looks so sexy. I'm not gonna lie, Gohan looks hot, but let me chill. But Gohan, this concept right here, again, in terms of the conceptual philosophy behind Gohan, this is probably one of the most toxic concepts that have been designed for a character yet, because this literally is a concept where you want to isolate your opponents and basically make them into 1v4 situations or something like that, where they can't be able to gang up on you or have a fair fight. If anything, they're going to be the ones who are getting violated. So Gohan in that sense is nasty. If you ask me, he seems to be, in terms of design, very similar to Kaioken, like Super Saiyan Kamehameha like base Super Saiyan Goku, let me put it that way. He seems very similar to Goku because he has the Kaioken effect with a potential leash, buffing his first skill or second skill. But the difference is with Gohan, based on what I can tell, he's very different from Goku in terms of his ability to secure a boss. I think that's a very important thing that needs to be understood, is that Gohan, while I do love Gohan's kit, he looks very strong with the stagger and everything, and the flee effect looks very powerful. He doesn't have the ability to secure bosses himself. I'm sure his damage is pretty decent, you can find a way to make it work, but 9 times out of 10, you're still going to want a Goku or a Piccolo or someone on your team to do the securing of a NPC boss for you. Like if you're playing Gohan, someone else is going to have to prioritize the boss while you kind of just play defense, or I guess offense through defense, whatever, where you're forcing enemies to flee, where you're staggering people, kicking them in bad directions. That's the sort of thing that Gohan seems very powerful in. And even if like you're not cutting characters off, which is the main concept behind him, even if you're not able to do that, Gohan, like Vegeta, seems to have a great ability of just displacing enemies, which is a very powerful mechanic in this game in my opinion, maybe underrated. And also, again, being able to, just mess with characters' positioning, having, certain abilities that just like negate opponents. So you know, pretty nasty. And those warp mechanics, warping is a very strong design ability in my opinion, just being able to warp back and forth between places. Again, he's not like Gotenks, where Gotenks, he would warp and then warp back to his original position. Same with Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I guess. But for Gohan, he warps to the opponent, so you unavoidable attack, you kick them where you just came from, so that kind of messes their positioning up. And for example, if I'm like Super Saiyan Goku, I'm ready to do a Kamehameha here all of a sudden. Now, if Gohan were to go ahead and do his skill 2 right here, teleports behind me, I just waste my Kamehameha going this way, and he kicks me, so I'm not hitting anyone, I'm out of position, I've just wasted a key skill for me, maybe Kaioken on top of that. You know, so Gohan can be very nasty in those respects. And again, the passive, his kit is littered with staggering mechanics, with flee, things that are just, in my opinion, very nasty. Him, I think it is safe to say, we haven't seen Gohan in game yet, and I'm really making a big assumption with this. I think it's safe to say that Gohan is the best in slot technical, and I'm taking best in slot as a coined term from Minato, who I know Minato's Flash, he puts best in slot in his tier list. I'm taking that, it's not an uncommon term, but I'm saying that just because I do think Gohan is the best technical in the game. I mean, it's easy to say that when a character has a bunch of text in their skills that they're going to be really good, but we have to understand that Gohan incorporates a lot of the concepts and skills that make characters really nasty. He has warping ability for very easy damage and all this sort of stuff. He's displacing enemy heroes, messing up their positioning. He has stagger, bonus damage. He has a Kaioken effect to buff those abilities, right? Shockwaves, all this sort of movement and everything. With his first skill, right? We didn't even really talk about too much, I think, compared to the others, but still, the pushback on the enemies right there. Pushing back an opponent, we've seen what it can do with Vegeta. This is also pretty powerful right there. The power unleashed, obviously not the craziest skill, but still allowing that flee effect, and also on top of that, allowing you to use your other skills mid cooldown is insanely powerful. Combine that with backstab, and honestly, I think Gohan could be one of the most toxic characters with a backstab card in his pocket and everything. But you have that, the Mach Break, which does the stagger, but also applies flee, just in case you can't stagger them. Gohan is very strong, very strong. He has a lot of those skill sets, the stagger and the flee and everything, that I think just make him so powerful. So for me, Gohan, just on paper, looks to be the best technical in the game. There are certain characters who I think are in contention for this, like Kid Gohan. His kid version is also pretty powerful. Majin Buu, I think, in this meta is still really, really powerful. But this second skill is going to get buffed with the second skill damage buff and everything for the Divine Draw. That's going to make him, I think, better. So yeah, Gohan just looks outstandingly amazing. I mean, we still are awaiting the arrival of Broly, but this guy looks insane. I'm actually kind of nervous to see how strong he's going to be, because I don't know if Gohan is allowed in the new official SQUADRA tournament, but like, he's going to be very interesting for sure. Besides that, first of all, real quick, shout out to Steve-O, because I did cover, I think, Steve-O's post the last time we covered Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta's kit. Steve-O is a true dog. He's a beast. I love Steve-O. I don't really interact with Steve-O too much, but every time lately I've needed to see the SQUADRA content and everything through the creator program stuff, Steve-O's on timing. So shout out to Steve-O. I love Steve-O. He and I have never spoken, but still, Steve-O, know that you got a new fan right here. Anyways, we have a bunch of stuff here for Gohan through media and everything, the animations. Let's go ahead and check out these animations as we continue to talk about the character real quick. So obviously, we do have the base pose of Gohan just in his basic kind of fit, I guess. Well, it's whatever. I'm curious to see what other outfits he's got. I know he's got like the Z-Sword Gohan fit, but honestly, if he has like the superhero fit, that would be pretty dope. Maybe they're saving superhero Gohan for a different moment, but still. Let's see the idol here. I'm curious to see what the idol animation is going to be, because Vegeta was pretty cool, trying out the different effects for the final shine. Gohan with the Super Saiyan aura, and I know Steve-O mentioned this here. Okay, so he powers up and just, okay, so it's just him. Okay. This is interesting, but it's not. Okay. Gohan's, I'm not feeling Gohan's idol. Is that it? Not bad, but probably the worst idol in game. That's tough. That's tough. I mean, this is cool. Okay, so obviously this is from when Gohan, in the moment in the show when he became potential unleashed, ultimate Gohan, whatever. Old Kai's like, oh yeah, transform Super Saiyan, bro. Show us that Super Saiyan aura. He's like, all right, bet. And then he just loses Super Saiyan technically. Like, he still has the power, but like, he's not showing it. It's cool in terms of the moment they're referring to, but I would say it's not my favorite animation. It's not my favorite idol. Vegeta's, I think, was much better, trying out the different attacks to realize how to do a final shine, which is different from the Big Bang attack and all that. That was more clean to me. Super Saiyan 3 Goku was really clean. this is cool, but it's not peak like I would hope for Gohan. All right, this I heard was really funny. So yeah, and I guess they're referring to the Potara drop. I don't know why the video is buffering, but I heard that this is a very funny Dragon Ball emote. Oh my god. That's how they were referring to it? I thought it was just like a pure catch, like it was perfect. Okay. So all this means, guys, is we have to establish this as canon, right? All this means is that Goku, like if Goku threw a freaking Dragon Ball sized Potara earring, Gohan would have caught that, right? Like, this is crazy. I'm glad they're referring to this though. It clearly they seem to be embracing the moments in the show and everything with Gohan specifically, which they do with a lot of characters, but still, like the catching the Dragon Ball that he drops and everything. Like, I do really like all that. It's minor things, but it's those minor details I think make SQUADRA so awesome. Super Saiyan 3, this is irrelevant. This is Goku's MVP screen, but oh, that's hot. That's hot. I still don't have Super Saiyan 3 Goku. He's probably going to be my first pickup from the new characters because I don't know if I want Gotenks too much, and Toppo was definitely a no-no for me. Or maybe Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, maybe. But we'll see. Ooh. Damn, what? Wait, hold on. Time. Why is he talking like Beast? Yeah, I'm about to say, bro thinks he's in Beast Gohan form. What is this voice? Way too weak is crazy from Gohan. That's nasty. The walk up. This man, I wish Ultimate Gohan did more in terms of his character, man. He deserved more. The way he was aura farming, he deserved to have at least a bit more success. All right, this is the... All right, so there's the blue MVP. Not as cool as the gold one, but still, it is what it is. The gold win. Oh, that's tough. That is tough. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a sucker for nostalgia and everything. Seeing Gohan doing the Goku pose, which he did versus Super Buu or Buu Tank's Buu, like he did that in the show, right? I was a big sucker for that. Like, even though I knew what they were going for, like I was a huge sucker for it then. I'm a sucker for this now. This looks tough. This is tough as hell. The blue win. Okay, whatever. Okay, that's such a whatever to me compared to the other one. Okay, we got all of Gohan's skin. So I guess this is skin 1, skin 2, 3, 4. Honestly, pretty straightforward. This one is kind of tough, I guess, to me, but I'm not... I don't know. I don't really like a lot of his fits. Now that I look at it, like... That's his basic skin. Okay, actually, that one's... I kind of like the black and blue. I kind of like that one, I'm not gonna lie. Most of his skins are whatever, but that one's kind of clean. We do have the Z-Sword fit, or the Kai outfit. 350 gems. I mean, it's the same as Yardrat Goku, I guess, so it's whatever. Looking pretty tough, I'm not gonna lie. Do we have the... Ooh, this, like the legendary animation? Oh my god, wait, what? Why does he have the Z-Sword? First of all, why does Gohan have the Z-Sword? He did not do anything with the Z-Sword. He broke the Z-Sword. And also... I do love, this is a minor thing for me. Maybe you guys will see where I'm coming with this. I appreciate the Gohan does the reverse of Trunks. Trunks, remember with his Sword of Hope, he did the down to up swipe, which is not how you describe that sort of strike, but still he did that. Gohan is doing top down. It's like the opposite, but still, like, that's so fire. That's actually really tough. What else do we have here? The intro, ooh. We did see this. That's hard as fuck. That I think I actually like that in some ways more than Super Saiyan 3 Goku. But Goku's is also really cool with the not transformation, but the translocation, whatever. All right, blue animation's cool. Gold animation intro. Let's see what we got here. Upside down for the Huz. Okay, nice. I don't know why I said that, guys. I'm sorry. I'm being very out of pocket here. And then what? Oh, this is Goku's animation. Ooh. I mean, I've seen this before, but yeah, so, yeah, man, Gohan looks tough. I've seen, again, from what I've heard going into this, I heard the Gohan looked amazing. I heard that he was such a beast, no pun intended. Or is that even a pun? Whatever. I heard the Gohan looked amazing, and I didn't know exactly what to expect from this character, but he looks awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and just play his trailer watching this guy one more time, but, like, I messed up the trailer, whoops. This Gohan, though, looks amazing. He really does look fantastic. Again, the stagger effect, the flea effect, he has a lot of the concepts and skill sets that make him so nasty. Right there, you can see a bit of the kick. I think that's a level 1 maybe or something, because it didn't look too crazy, but right there, the pushback. Nice attack right there. The kick, he kicked both of them there, maybe with power unleashed affected and everything. There was power unleashed turning on right there, so there's the flee effect. Now knowing his kit, now you can see everything like in play. There is a pretty nice ultimate. It's kind of like 18's kind of effect, right? Am I thinking of the right character? I'm thinking of Android 18, maybe I'm thinking of something else, but that is really tough. That is really awesome right there, yeah. Gohan, guys, I don't know, guys, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about Gohan? Because I'm not gonna lie, everything I've heard about him is amazing, and he does look amazing. He does look like the best technical for me. I know there's competitors like Kid Gohan, like Majin Buu, maybe Frieza still to some people, although I don't think that's the case no more. Gotenks, I think, is probably in that conversation for a few people. But for me, Gohan got it. Ultimate Gohan. This Gohan, if we had this Gohan in Majin Buu Saga, the real saga, like, Gohan would have won. If we had this Gohan, we got like the freaking knockoff version of Ultimate Gohan, which this is crazy talk. I shouldn't even say that. That's crazy, like toxicity for no reason against like a freaking character. But yeah, Gohan looks amazing. Let me just leave it at that. In any case, guys, that's going to be where we wrap up the vid today. Again, guys, I do apologize for basically not putting out a vid for like 2 weeks now. I just been in kind of like a down place personally and everything, so I don't want to get too much into that, but I did need like the past few weeks to kind of like recharge. I'm still recharging in that personal sense, but you know, get my energy right, enjoy the holiday with my family and everything. So, you know, I do kind of want to like kind of explain that in a slight sense. But yeah, guys, I mean, let me know in the comments down below what do you think about Gohan. If you enjoyed the vid, show your support, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel, all that sort of stuff. Let me know as a side note how have your holidays been for you guys. Hopefully you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving as well. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, stay blessed, and I will see you all in the next one.